Living alone as an older person is often seen as peaceful and empowering, but there's so much more to the story that people don't talk about. In this video, we dive into the real experiences of older individuals who live on their own, covering both the challenges and the joys. If you or someone you know is living alone in their later years, this is the video for you. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future content that explores life, independence, and all the things we learn along the way. Living alone, especially as one grows older, is often depicted as a serene and empowering experience. The stillness of solitude offers the freedom to move through life at one's own pace, unburdened by the expectations of others. Yet, like the Buddha's teachings remind us, every experience holds within it both light and shadow. While solitude can be a space for reflection and self-discovery, it also brings challenges that often go unspoken, known only to those who have walked the path of living alone. One of the most profound realizations is that you must become your own refuge, your own safety net. In the way that we are taught to seek refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, here, in the physical realm, there may be no one near to hear our calls or witness our needs. I have come across stories of those who have fallen, only to remain unnoticed for days. This truth, though unsettling, invites us to cultivate mindfulness and prepare for the uncertainties of life, just as we prepare our hearts for the uncertainties of the mind. For instance, some choose to carry a phone with them at all times, even in the shower, much like a monk carries his mindfulness into every action. Others install emergency lockboxes so trusted loved ones can enter in times of need, a symbolic reminder of opening our doors to the support of others, even when we walk the path alone. It is these small acts of preparation that offer peace of mind and help maintain the balance between independence and care. In the quiet of living alone, there is much to reflect upon and much to prepare for. And like all things, this journey is not solely personal. It is the wisdom shared by many who have journeyed this road before. For some, the quiet solitude of living alone can be filled by the companionship of a pet, a small yet profound presence that brings routine and connection into daily life. As one woman shared, "My cat might not speak, but he's always there when I come home, and that makes all the difference." In Buddhist teachings, the presence of another living being, even a simple creature, can serve as a reminder of interconnectedness and our shared need for care and love. A pet offers more than just company. They create rhythm in the day, a reason to rise and tend, much like a monk's daily rituals. As we age, however, the weight of maintaining our homes can begin to feel overwhelming. The tasks that once seemed light, cleaning, mowing the lawn, fixing small things, start to feel burdensome. Energy, like all things, is impermanent, and our bodies follow the same natural law. I have read many stories of those who quietly set aside tasks, not out of neglect, but because they no longer had the strength to face them alone. Just as the Buddha teaches us the importance of asking for help along the path, so too must we reach out when our homes and our lives become too much to handle alone. Whether by seeking assistance from friends or family, or downsizing to a smaller, more manageable space, there is wisdom in letting go of that which no longer serves us. By doing so, we free ourselves to focus on what truly matters. This is not an act of weakness, but of mindful self-compassion, recognizing that sometimes it is okay to let go. Finally, one of the greatest lessons in living alone is the sacredness of routine. In the same way that monks follow a daily practice, individuals who live alone often create rituals that anchor their days. A cup of coffee in the morning, a walk in the afternoon, or watching a favorite show. These simple acts become like beads on a mala, guiding the passage of time and offering moments of peace and mindfulness. One woman in her 70s shared that she starts each morning by playing the same song as she prepares breakfast, filling her quiet house with energy. Another man shared how he looked forward to watering his garden each evening, finding not just purpose, but peace in the act of nurturing life. These small routines are not trivial. They are the threads that weave meaning into the fabric of solitary life. Just as each step of a walking meditation is intentional, so too are the moments we create in our daily lives. They give us grounding, purpose, and a sense of connection, even in the silence. As the evening drew in, the act of watering his garden became more than a simple task for one man. It became a source of purpose, giving his days a gentle structure. This sense of mindful engagement, like tending to a garden, parallels the Buddhist teaching of living with intention. It is not just about the plants, but the care and attention invested in them that cultivates peace and presence. There is beauty in this. Just as the Buddha encouraged followers to cultivate their inner gardens of mindfulness, these everyday routines become the rituals that anchor and nourish the soul. Don't let anyone dismiss the importance of these small daily practices. They are the threads of our lives, giving us both control and serenity. Take cooking, for instance. When living alone, especially in older years, preparing meals can feel burdensome. The temptation to fall into the convenience of frozen meals or takeout is strong. But as one woman shared, learning to love cooking for yourself can completely change your perspective. It becomes less about the effort and more about the mindfulness, the care you put into nourishing your body. In this way, cooking becomes a form of self-compassion, a little act of self-care, much like the offering of food in a Buddhist temple. It is not just about sustenance, but about honoring yourself and your journey. Preparing a meal becomes a moment to remind yourself that you are worth the time and effort. As for the silence of living alone, it can be both a blessing and a challenge. Many do not realize how powerful silence can be until they find themselves alone. For some, it is unsettling. After years of bustling households or careers, the stillness may feel like an empty void. One woman shared that she started leaving the radio on while doing chores just to fill the space. Another man turned to podcasts to keep him company, feeling as though someone was there, talking to him. Yet in Buddhist practice, silence is often embraced as a gift. The quiet gives us space to reflect, recharge, and connect with our inner selves. When approached mindfully, it becomes a sacred space, allowing us to hear our true thoughts and emotions. However, living alone also calls for intentional action, especially when it comes to physical activity. Without someone to encourage movement or shared activities, it is easy to slip into a more sedentary life. Aging bodies, like all things, change and require greater attention. Just as in meditation, where the Buddha taught the importance of mindful awareness of the body, living alone requires us to cultivate a routine that honors physical movement. Whether it's a daily walk, some light stretching, or a dance around the living room, staying active becomes a practice of caring for the body, which in turn uplifts the mind and spirit. Schedule is the key to maintaining a sense of time when living alone, especially as you grow older. Without the external prompts that partners or housemates provide, the flow of time can become fluid, sometimes feeling either too long or too short. One elderly man shared how, after retiring and losing his spouse, days began to blur together. He'd wake up unsure of what day it was or even what time it might be. This experience reflects a common theme in forums and discussions about aging and living alone. However, in Buddhist teachings, time is often seen not as a linear entity, but as something experienced through mindfulness. When we live in the present moment, time doesn't slip away unnoticed, nor does it drag on endlessly. By cultivating routines and rituals, much like in meditation practice, we can find a rhythm that grounds us. One woman shared how she started setting small, meaningful tasks throughout her day. Morning walks, a cup of tea at noon, and reading in the evening, to bring structure and intention to her life. In doing so, time becomes something you live in, not something that overwhelms or escapes you. For others, the solution comes through incorporating small but purposeful activities into their routine, much like the mindful movements taught in Buddhism. Physical activity plays a large role in this. Without someone encouraging you to stay active, it's easy to fall into a sedentary lifestyle. One man shared that he slowly stopped taking his daily walks after living alone, only to realize later how much less active he had become when his body began to stiffen up. This realization reminds us of the importance of mindful attention to our physical health. A simple practice like setting a daily step goal, stretching in the morning, or taking the stairs instead of the elevator can keep the body moving. In Buddhism, it is said that the body is a vessel, and caring for it is a form of mindfulness in itself. One woman found that adopting a dog helped her stay physically active, because the dog needed to be walked every day, encouraging her to get moving too. This small daily effort not only improves physical fitness, but also uplifts the spirit. Gardening, dancing around the living room, or simply tending to the household with mindfulness are all ways to stay engaged with the world around you, allowing both body and mind to thrive. In the quiet of living alone, where external pressures fade, you are free to craft your own rhythms. By embracing routines that honor both body and mind, you create a space of mindfulness and balance, allowing you to experience the present moment fully. Disheartening. However, this is where a key lesson from Buddhism comes into play: the understanding of impermanence and the acceptance of change. Rather than clinging to the past or lamenting the loss of frequent social invitations, it's an opportunity to create your own joy and cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace. Living alone, especially as you grow older, presents a unique chance to tap into self-reliance and find fulfillment. One elderly man shared in an online forum that after realizing his social life was shrinking, he took up hobbies that brought him peace and satisfaction. He started attending community classes, organizing casual meetups with neighbors, and even taking solo trips to nearby nature spots. These activities not only kept him engaged, but also helped him reconnect with the world around him in a more mindful, purposeful way. In the Buddhist path, joy is not dependent on external circumstances, but on the ability to live in the present moment with a heart of gratitude and contentment. Rather than waiting for others to invite you to experience happiness, you can create your own opportunities to connect, whether through volunteer work, joining hobby groups, or simply reaching out to old friends for a chat. Some people in forums have shared how they started new traditions, like inviting others over for Sunday brunches or organizing potlucks with fellow seniors, turning potential loneliness into moments of togetherness. Even in solitude, you are never truly alone. By embracing mindfulness, you can cultivate a sense of connectedness to the world around you. The quiet moments spent alone can be just as fulfilling as large gatherings. As one woman put it, it's about appreciating the simple things, enjoying the warmth of a cup of tea, watching the sunset, or practicing deep breathing to center yourself. And if you find yourself longing for deeper social connections, Buddhism teaches us to be proactive with kindness and generosity. Rather than feeling left out, consider hosting small gatherings or being the one to reach out first. As one person shared, I started inviting my neighbors over for coffee every Friday morning, and it's turned into a lovely weekly tradition. This act of reaching out, of extending your own energy into the world, can bring back a wealth of joy and connection. Ultimately, living alone offers a profound gift: the opportunity to be at peace with yourself, to learn how to create your own happiness, and to embrace the ebb and flow of life with grace. By accepting the impermanence of things and cultivating a mindful approach to social connections, you can enjoy the richness of solitude while also staying connected to those around you. Book, a hobby, or the people who bring you joy. In many ways, living alone offers the opportunity to cultivate an environment of peace and self-awareness, much like the teachings of Buddhism, which encourage us to create a sanctuary of the mind and soul. One woman shared in a thread, "I used to wait for my phone to ring, hoping someone would reach out, but now I've learned that I need to be proactive." This simple yet profound insight mirrors the Buddhist teaching of taking mindful action. Rather than passively waiting for others to bring fulfillment into your life, you can take charge of your own happiness. Initiating small social gatherings, whether it's inviting a friend for tea, organizing a book club, or hosting a movie night, can be transformative. By doing so, you're not only fostering connection, but also shaping your social life around activities that resonate with your own interests and joys. Consider the story of a man in his 60s who started a neighborhood walking group. Every Sunday, a small group would meet and explore local trails. This simple practice allowed him to stay both socially engaged and physically active, all while doing something he enjoyed. In the same way that the Buddha encouraged intentional living, designing your social life with care and awareness can bring profound satisfaction. Whether it's a crafting night or a TV watch party, the joy comes not just from the activity itself, but from the intention behind it. Living alone also brings attention to self-care. Without anyone to remind you to tend to your needs, it's easy to let things slip. Many people in forums admit to neglecting themselves, saying things like, "Who am I doing this for?" But the wisdom lies in recognizing that you are doing it for yourself. Just as Buddhism teaches us to honor the body and mind, self-care is about treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion you would offer to others. Whether it's making the effort to prepare nourishing meals, dressing in the morning, even if you're not leaving the house, or creating a calming evening ritual like lighting candles and reading a book, these acts of self-care reinforce your self-worth. As you navigate the unique experience of living alone, especially as you age, it's important to embrace the freedom it offers, while also recognizing that you don't have to do everything alone. It's okay to ask for help when needed, whether it's for home maintenance, emotional support, or simply to break up the silence with a conversation. Living alone doesn't mean living isolated. It means having the opportunity to cultivate a mindful, intentional life that reflects your values and desires. There is great beauty in the stillness and solitude of living alone. Just as in Buddhist practice, where moments of silence are opportunities for reflection and spiritual growth, living alone allows you to design a life that brings you peace. Take this time to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Surround yourself with what brings you joy, and remember that even in solitude, there's always connection to be found, within yourself, within the world, and within the community you create. Living alone as an older person comes with its unique set of rewards and challenges. But remember, you're never truly alone. There's a whole community out there sharing this journey with you. If you found value in this video, please leave a comment below and share your thoughts or experiences. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching.